Hi, it's Tim Altman, breathing coach, naturopath. Today I'm going to talk about our breathing again, and the title of this talk pretty much gives away what I'm going to talk about. That is that we breathe like we're in permanent emergency mode. In other words, our breathing gives away the fact that we operate permanently in emergency mode. And interestingly, the way we breathe then exacerbates this or perpetuates it and makes it worse. So to clarify this, based on medical diagnostic norms that dictate how we should breathe, ideally we should breathe 8 to 10 breaths a minute using our diaphragm, using our nose only, in and out through the nose only, and it should be silent with a gentle wave pattern. Now, the average person doesn't breathe this way. The average person breathes twice as often at about somewhere between 14 to 20 something breaths a minute, so that we breathe twice as often as we should. We use our chest and shoulders more than we use our diaphragm. So most people breathe like using our chest and shoulders. We often use our mouth to breathe, and breathing is rarely silent. Now, using our mouth and using our chest and shoulders to breathe is actually emergency mode of breathing. So an example is, so our primary breathing muscle is our diaphragm. So if you were to use your diaphragm, your belly would move more than your chest and shoulders. And at rest, our chest and shoulders should not move at all. And at rest, we should use only our nose, not our mouth at all. So that's how we built to breathe. Yet the mouth and our chest and shoulders are what we call secondary muscles or secondary ways of breathing. In other words, they're used for emergency. Someone scares me, the first thing I'm going to do is breathe with my mouth and my chest and go, big inhale, gasp, and I'm ready for a fight or flight. Or another example of emergency mode is for high level of exercise. If I'm in high level of exercise, then I have to start using my chest and shoulders as well as my diaphragm, and maybe I need to use my mouth as well as my nose to breathe. But that's only for high level of exercise, so in emergency modes. But that's how most of us breathe all the time. And that kicks us into what we call sympathetic dominance or permanent fight or flight. And that will make your breathing rate, your heart rate, your blood pressure higher, adrenaline and cortisol higher. It will reduce immune function, digestive function. It will also reduce natural neurotransmitters like serotonin, which is a happy neurotransmitter, or the mood regulating neurotransmitter, and melatonin, which is a sleep regulating neurotransmitter, and blood flow to the brain. So if you look at that cascade of changes that I just mentioned, and you look at chronic illness and you go, wow, our breathing can contribute a lot. If we're breathing in emergency mode, it can contribute a lot to chronic illness. So the good news is that you can retrain it quite easily without a lot of effort. So it takes a few times, it's probably 20 minutes a day, 20 to 30 minutes a day, consistently of breathing, retraining in the right way, using your diaphragm, using your nose using diaphragmatic breathing rhythms at certain rates and intervals to make quite a significant effect to your breathing, which will also then significantly affect your health. Interestingly, the same nervous system that controls your breathing, or all the automatic functions, breathing including, is the same nervous system that regulates stress. And breathing is the only automatic function that with some practice we can easily consciously control. So if you learn to breathe functionally, you learn to settle your nervous system out of permanent stress mode or out of permanent overdrive, and you can start to make a big influence on your health, but also on your levels of relaxation, creativity, happiness, your sleep, etc. So it's certainly worth learning how to breathe again. And most people breathe too rapidly and with far too much volume and in emergency mode. So it's something we all need to learn how to do properly again.